It's a bonus dog. Let's thank the podcast God for blessing us another time. It's extra laughs with spots and dogs that never made it the first time. Straight off the cutting room floor, it's as raw as can be. Here's a bonus part ineffably sublime.
But
So-
yeah, I used to love going to Altoona Mall.
Yeah, it
It's
wasn't
still
too
cool.
bad.
Yeah, it's
Well,
still
we didn't
cool.
go into like the hot spots like Hot Topic or Spencer's or anything like that because the kids were just being like absolutely like feral. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It was just crazy.
yeah.
And
Now
there
was the mall busy? Like, was it packed or?
I wouldn't call it packed, but there was a pretty good amount of people there.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you what though, listen to this. The
All right.
Santa Claus they had there, it was a nice looking set
Mm-hmm.
that they had, and there was nobody in line. I was like, kids, do you want to go see Santa? So they went and saw Santa, and they were like, oh, would you like to take your picture with Santa? And I was like, how much is it? And like, it's $40.
Bullshit.
And I was like, no, I'm good. And they're like, yeah, it's absolutely no personal photography allowed. And I'm like, no. I was like, can I just get one picture? They're like, no, we don't have a package for that. I'm like, you want? So the minimum package is $39.99? Like, absolutely not. That's what I said. No, that's not happening.
It better damn well be the real frickin' Santa for that much.
Oh my God, dude. I
Good
was like,
Lord.
this is like insanity.
Wow.
And I looked at Tammy and I said, I don't care if this is Wesley's first time seeing Santa Claus. I'm not paying $40 for
Oh God, no. No,
like
absolutely
it's
not.
absolutely not happening.
No.
But which is good because again, you saved Christmas by sending us to that other place, and there was a Santa Claus there, and they were like, you can take as many pictures as you want.
We'll see. There we go.
I was like, perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like I said, that's my Christmas miracle of the year, and I'm done. I am done. I'm not doing anything else for anybody else.
And that's fine. Well, listen, you want to hear the craziest thing this might be the craziest thing that's ever happened to me this year.
Oh, I'd love to hear
Like
it.
just in terms of like just pure coincidence, the stars aligning type of happenstance.
Okay.
This is absolutely mind numbing. And I was so freaking mind blown by this.
Mhm.
I just feel like it's impossible and I don't understand it. But let's backtrack this to early October when I had my bonfire night that you couldn't come to.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll start there.
Okay.
Amanda, our friends Amanda and Joe, who you will meet eventually, they came to that. And then the very next day we went to Walmart and we saw Amanda's parents. Now, keep in mind, Amanda's parents live in Marionville.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so they're a good ways away.
Yeah.
So we saw them in the Du Bois Walmart the very next day. I thought, oh, cool. We were just hanging out with Amanda last night. And they're like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so fast forward again to another night where we were with Amanda and Joe. They had come over for Friendsgiving.
Right.
This is what, a month later. Same thing. Came over. The next day we go to Walmart, run into Amanda's parents. I thought this is crazy. So
Yeah.
weird. I said we just saw them last night. What are the odds?
Well, yeah.
Or no, maybe we saw her at Sheets. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, we run into them again, like wherever it was.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just.
It was when
yeah,
we went to the haunted house the next day.
Oh, okay. When you went down to the one in that was at Ravenwood. That
Ravenwood,
one?
which is
Yeah.
in Beccaria, which is where how I know. So we saw her the very next day after we saw Amanda and Joe, and then so we're at Amanda and Joe's on Friday, this past Friday, giving them the Christmas gift. And I said to them, I swear to God, if we see your parents tomorrow, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Yeah.
And she's like, haha, that would be funny. Well,
Yeah.
we went out of town. So we didn't go anywhere
Mhm.
in Du Bois. We left early on in the day. We didn't go anywhere in Du Bois. Came back home. It was, the whole day went by where we didn't see Amanda's parents. Then we went to Walmart Sunday on a fucking whim. We just decided to go. We're like, we're going to go in there real quick just to get a couple things for Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Like the ham, some garlic bread, the stuff for lasagna. And wouldn't you fucking know, as soon as we walk in the door,
Here
we
they
run
are.
into Amanda's parents. I'm like,
What the
what
hell?
fuck, dude? I literally couldn't
Wow.
fucking believe it. I was absolutely astounded. It was staggering. I
Yeah.
like the amount of mind blow I was experiencing.
Wow.
So Tammy takes a selfie with them and sends it to Amanda, and she just responds with, "No fucking way." And I
That
said
is
to her, I said,
so
"We literally
weird.
skipped yesterday." And
Uh,
she's like, "Yeah, we couldn't make it yesterday either." I'm like, "That's fucking crazy. I can't
oh
even
my
handle how fucking crazy
god.
that is."
That is so wild. That's very what's that
Man,
word? Serendipitous. I don't
it
know.
is kinda staring. It just
Is it? Isn't it?
absolutely
Yeah.
blows my mind.
That is so crazy.
What are the amount of, like, astronomical shit that had to align to
Yeah.
make that happen, after I said it out loud, I spoke it to the universe, like, "We're gonna have them skip a day too."
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me?
And you'll
Not
and
only
you'll
that, but,
never
like,
see them again until the next time
it just
you run
yeah,
it. That
you
is
don't run
so
I don't run into
wild.
them ever.
So wild.
I don't know, man. If
Yeah.
it happens one more time, I'm just done. Like, I don't even
Yeah.
know what I can do.
Well, yeah. I mean, is this like one of those odds where they say, well, you got to play the lottery
Yeah, but,
because
like, why is it
you
always
know,
just them? Why is it, like, Amanda, and then I see her mom and dad the next
yeah,
day? What is up with
yeah.
that?
What is up with that? That's a good question.
Like,
That
doesn't
is
happen nothing like that ever happens with anybody
no,
else, like
no, no. I've never had anything even remotely similar to that ever
I mean, there
happen.
was a moment recently where I thought like, I was walking through Walmart again on a whim.
Hmm.
I had went there to get, like, crock pot liners.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, I just went there to get this is the day before Friendsgiving. I went there to grab
Uh,
crock pot liners, and we have a extra large crock pot, and I thought, I don't have anything that's gonna fit this, so I grabbed those turkey bags,
oh yeah.
and I said, "I hope this will work." And as I grabbed the bags, I said, "I hope I run into somebody that I know,
Hmm.
so I can ask them if they would use this for an extra large crock pot." And wouldn't you know, I'd run into Nate.
Wow.
The second that happens, I turn the corner and Nate's like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Fucking ran into you. Would you use these?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, why not?"
Yeah.
But so that was kind of interesting. But like
Yeah.
again, like, what the fuck? I don't know,
Yeah.
man.
I can honestly say the last 10 times I've been to Walmart, I haven't ran into anybody that I know. But then again, I just make a beeline for what I need, and then I turn around and I leave, and I try not to make any eye contact.
Right?
So,
It's just
but
nuts.
yeah, that's what makes it so wild is that you ran into the same people, what now, 3 months in a row,
Hmm.
the day after you see their daughter. That is crazy.
And I even told her, I said, "I swear to God, if I see your parents tomorrow, I'm gonna lose it."
Yeah. That's so
And then
cool.
it skipped a day. I just don't.
Yeah. Yeah, and if we're not even being the next day, it's like 2 days after. That's so weird.
The universe is like, well, you're going out of town tomorrow, so we're gonna skip a day for both you
Yeah.
guys, and we're gonna.
Yeah.
I like what even. Here's the thing. I never even asked them like, why the fuck are you in DuBois? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You drove through Punxsy. There's a Walmart in Punxsy.
Yeah, why would they go to the There must just be a better I'm assuming Du Bois is Walmart is better than Punxsys or
I don't
anywhere in
know. I
between.
just
I
think
don't
it's
know
so
either.
bizarre
That is very bizarre. That is some cool shit though.
to see them 3 months in a row. And after seeing their daughter 3 months
Yeah.
in a row at the DuBois Walmart of all places, when they're over an hour away from their house. Like, I don't know, man. That's fucking
Yeah.
wild.
It is wild. It is very
It
wild.
almost feels as wild as like whenever you see like when you go out of town and you see somebody that you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and it doesn't feel real. Like it's just like, wait a minute. Like is this like
Yeah,
a
because like I'm
mirage?
walking into the Altoona Mall and I saw like my 8th grade history teacher,
Oh wow.
and I'm like, that's fucking weird. I didn't
Yeah.
say anything to him, but I thought that's super weird. Like, why would I run into that guy here? I haven't been to the Logan Valley Mall in literal
Uh-huh.
years. Like,
Years.
and I happened to walk in that day that he was walking out. I don't know, just odd to me, man.
It's very odd. It is very odd. Yep. Yeah. My mom would always have that luck where she would vacation down in Florida before they moved down there. And there was one time when she was just decided to strike up a conversation with somebody, and here those people were from Clearfield. It's like you struck up just a random conversation with somebody, and you just happen to ask where you're from, and they end up being from neighboring city or neighboring towns, not even cities. And it's like, because she would call me, she's like, "You'll never believe this." She's like, "I just talked to somebody who lives in Clearfield." And I'm like, "What the hell?" I'm like, "How does that happen?"
That's
I said,
spooky,
"Did they
man.
look?" I said, "Did they look from?" She's like, "No." She's like, "We were just standing in line." And then she said, "I was just commenting on her purse or something." And then we just started talking. And then we just found out that we lived in neighboring towns. I was like,
That's wild.
"Oh, that is wild."
It
Yep.
used to happen to me a lot. Like I don't know if I ever told you any of this, and maybe this could be saved for another show, but I used to experience like profound coincidences, like all the time, of that level.
Oh, okay.
All the time. And me and my buddy, and I'll tell you, there's two of them that stick out.
Hmm.
My buddy, one night we were getting ready to watch Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead. I can't remember when it was. And I remember like I was out delivering pizzas, and it was so hard for me to find a moment to just go to the liquor store and buy a bottle of rum. All I wanted. I was like, I just want to like get drunk later and watch Fear the Walking Dead. All I wanted to do. And I finally made it happen. I got the bottle, and later that night we're getting ready to watch Fear the Walking Dead. And this is when we were both into like Magic the Gathering. So he was like sitting there looking up. He was on the other side of the room, and I was totally sloshed. I was beyond drunk. And I little did I know I was about to get the giggles really hardcore.
Okay.
That's pretty relevant. So I started like laughing out of no reason at all. And he's on the other side of the room, and I'm kind of just staring off into the distance, just laughing. And he's like looking up, from what I'm told, he was looking up Magic the Gathering cards that didn't exist, like fan made ones,
Okay.
to see what kind of crazy shit that they would do.
Mm-hmm.
And at that moment in time, I decided to, as I was staring into the ceiling, I said, "Bo, Bo," really, really loudly.
Uh-huh.
And he's like stood up as fast as he possibly could. He goes, "Why the fuck did you just say that?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Why did you just shout Bobo really loud?" And I'm like, "I don't know." He goes, "Look at this fucking card that I'm looking at right now." And it was called Bobo the Cat.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, "Whoa."
Yeah.
And it blew my drunk ass mind so hard. Like I couldn't even handle it.
Yeah.
And then from that moment on, we experienced crazy shit on a daily basis. And I think it was like 2 days later, I was delivering pizzas early in the morning, and I had gone to Domino's, and there was a delivery like already waiting for me. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was to my buddy Tom. So I went and drove it to Tom's house, and as I walked up there, I had realized I didn't grab like my money for the day. Like Domino's always gave me like $20 or whatever to start the day.
Mm-hmm.
I make change if needed, but I didn't grab it because it was like just, in, out the door. So I take the pizza up, and he hands me money, and I'm like, "Oh man, I'll have to go get you change. I'll be right back." So I go over to the nearest business, which was, I think it was Napa Auto Parts. Go in there, and I said, "Hey, can you break a 20?" He's like, "All I have is $20. I'll break it for you." And I was like, "Cool." So he gives me a 10 of 5 ones.
Okay.
On my way up to Tom's door, I reach in my pocket and I grab the money, and I fan it out, in like a douchey fashion, fan it out in front of him, and I say, "Here's your change, sir." Well, written over the top of George Washington's face was the number 86. Okay. And the reason that is relevant is because the entire time on my way to work, on my way, or like while I was at work and on my way to Tom's house, I had been listening to a podcast, and the entire time on that podcast, they were talking about the significance of the number 86.
Really?
Yeah. And it just so happened that on this fucking written in pen over George Washington's face was the number 86 in big blue pen. And I was like, "Bro, what?" And I'm telling Tom this, and he's like, "That's crazy." And he wasn't like as mind blown as I was.
Yeah.
But I was like, this coming from the same thing. And so that happened, all right? And then I think maybe 2 days later, my ex-wife and I are having the biggest argument of our lives in our kitchen in our house. Okay, and we're just this giant blowout argument, and I hear the loudest noise that I've ever heard.
Okay.
Coming from outside. Just like sounds like, I don't even know, just crashing. You know what I mean? I go outside, and the way that my house was set up, like my attention is diverted immediately to the right. So everything that was in front of me and to the left of me was completely blinded, and I'm seeing this vehicle it's coming down the street, and there's a guy looking at, getting out of his car. And I said, "Yo, what the hell? What happened?" He goes, "Oh, my tire exploded as I was driving past your house." And I'm like, "Oh,
Oh,
well, that's
jeez.
interesting."
Yeah.
And I just turned back around and continued arguing or whatever. And anyway, about an hour transpires, and I leave the house. We decide we're going to go to the store. And as I walk out, I look at my ex-wife's car, and it's just mangled.
Oh,
So this dude smashed her vehicle,
wow.
and I didn't see it. He didn't say anything. He drove off.
He just blamed his tire blowing out and
Yeah. So
took off.
I'm like,
Okay.
what the fuck? So we get in the car. It's still drivable. So we
Yeah.
get in the car. We're driving across, and I'm on the phone with the police, and I'm like, hey, I'm telling them what happened. And as I cross the bridge, I look to my left, and I see this guy's car
Uh-huh.
just sitting there, and there's
The
nobody.
guy that you talked to, this guy, or are you just saying like a guy?
No,
when you
I
say
see
this
I
guy.
see the guy that hit her car.
Okay, this
I see
particular
the
guy.
vehicle. Yeah,
Okay.
it's just sitting there, abandoned.
Okay.
So I go over to it, and I match the damage to the vehicles. I take the license plate number. I'm on the phone with the cops. I just ran into the vehicle
Yeah.
right here. Here's all the info.
Yeah.
Long story short, we find the name of the guy. All right,
Mhm.
I forget what his name was, but it was Adam something or other. And I go, going with my dad as normal. Didn't know who he was.
Mhm.
I go into work, and this girl that works with me at Domino's runs through the door, and she's like, "Teach, can you take this tea for me? There's going to be a guy that's coming to pick it up. It doesn't belong to me. This guy's going to come pick this tea up."
Okay.
I was like, "Okay." So this guy walks in, and I look at him, and I'm like, "That guy looks familiar to me." It turns out this is the guy that hit her car.
Jesus Christ.
He's like, "I'm here for this tea from Alyssa." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I'm like, "Why do you seem so familiar to me?" He's like, "I don't know. You look familiar to me too." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Done deal." He confirms his name. He said, "My name's Adam. I'm here to pick up this tea, yada, yada, yada." I said, "Okay, cool." At that point in time, I did not know that this was the guy who hit her car. I just didn't,
Right.
Yeah,
you
so
weren't piecing it all together. Right.
Yeah, so the police called me and said, "Hey, we confirmed the name of the driver. We confirmed the owner of the car. It was some woman. Wasn't this guy at all."
Oh, okay.
So anyway, this order comes through, and it's to this woman. And I take the order, and as I pull up in her driveway, I notice that she's got this car in the driveway, and it's the same car that hit my ex-wife's car.
What the hell?
And I'm like, what the fuck? So I go up to the thing, and I'm like, "Hey, do you own that car down there?" And she's like, "Yeah, that's my car." I'm like, this is going to sound wild, but I was like, that car is involved in an accident and hit my wife's car. She goes, "No way, that's crazy." She's like, "Yeah, my buddy Adam was driving the car." I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh my God.
So all of this thing is connecting, right?
Yeah.
And you remember that guy, Tom, that I told you about?
Yeah.
It was his mom.
What?
Yeah. They live right next door to each other.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, this is the wildest. So I texted Tom all this. He's
Yeah.
like, "Man, maybe we should like hang out." I'm like, "Yeah, maybe we should play the lottery together." I don't know.
Well, yeah.
So
Wow.
I go back to Domino's that like the next day. I'm delivering again. It's early in the morning. I get an order. It's Tom. All right. He orders, but it's not going to Tom's house. It's going to like Falls Creek, some weird shit. And I go there, and then the name on the slip says Tom. The phone number is Tom. I go there, and it's some girl named Jessica. And I said, "Why do you have Tom's number?" She goes,
Yeah.
"I don't know. Maybe I just got a new phone number. Maybe it's like Tom's old number."
What?
So I messaged Tom on Facebook, and he's like, "Yeah, I got a new number recently." I'm like, "Oh, okay." But I had a delivery. I thought it was to you. He goes, "Yeah, I have no affiliation with that place at all." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." So then I get
Jesus.
another delivery to a place that I've delivered to 1,000 times.
Okay.
Okay, it's always the same two old people there, right? I deliver it there. I walk it in the door. It's for fucking Tom.
What?
He's there. I'm like, "Why are you here?" He goes, "Oh, sometimes I work here." I'm like, "Bro, what the fuck is going on?" Like, I was like, "It's not even your name on the slip." He goes, "That's fucking weird." And I'm like, "I don't even know, man. I don't even know what to do right now." Like,
Hell.
so weird.
Yeah. Now, when does Adam show up? Does Adam show up anymore in this story, or is Adam?
No,
done?
he just happened. He's
Okay.
done. He
He's
got in
done.
trouble for hitting a car and abandoning it. I don't remember.
I thought
but-
for sure you were going to say now, and then I get this other call,
no,
from
the
somebody.
Adam
and then
Adam
and then
thing was
Adam shows up.
connected. Yeah, it was only connected via these two people.
Yeah.
I don't know. Very strange.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I just figured it was going to get even more just total craziness that
No,
this
yeah.
Adam was going to show back up into this scenario. That that is really freaking wild.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts, man. That's tungsten carbide hazelnut.
Oh yeah, that's definitely 10 out of 10, baby.
So yeah, that's that. I mean, there's
Wow.
definitely more involved, but like I said, that's for a whole
Yeah.
whole other coincidence based show.
Yeah, because I'm sure I got something, but I can't think of anything right off the top of my head. I'd have to noodle on this for a little bit to figure out, because there has to be something,
Yeah,
but I can't even think of even a quick one to tell you. Yeah, I got nothing. So
it's all good. We
can touch up on this on a later episode.
like you said, we'll noodle about it.
We'll noodle on this.
I know I could rattle off at least 2 or 3 more, but
Really?
yeah,
Huh.
maybe not as insane. Those are like pretty.
Well, that's pretty
wild.
high up there. That feels like that's like top tier shit right there.
Yeah, and I haven't really had anything absolutely, profound since then. But like both of those were enough for me to like start looking around, being like, "What?"
Yeah.
Maybe if I could like see the coding of the Earth, like
Yeah.
is the Matrix breaking through? Like what is happening right now?
Got Lawrence Fishburne holding up couple pills for you.
I mean, I half expected to turn around and have just like an entity standing behind me, being like, "You're being released."
Yeah.
Like, damn. So yeah,
Wow.
pretty wild.
That is wild.
This is the end of the show. You made it, who would've known? We thank you deeply for listening along. Tune in next week for another one. As always, it's been a really fun time. We'll be back again, we'll ineffably sublime. Every Tuesday, 6 a.m. Eastern Central Time.